There's nothing like owning a farm. Just ask legendary individuals such as Daniel Webster, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Thomas Jefferson, and even George Washington, to name a few. To many, the best perspective regarding farm life was uttered by a fictional baseball character named Roy Hobbs in The Natural. There's nothing like being on a farm. Nothing like being around animals, fixing things. There's nothing like being in the field with the corn and the winter wheat, the greenest stuff you ever saw. Less than 2 miles outside the artistic waterfront village of Stony Creek in Branford, Connecticut, sits a true legend. A farm that has stood the test of time and graciously welcomed visitors to this quaint shoreline town for almost a century. Nothing has ever changed. Frozen in time and weathered, the iconic farmhouse and old stone barn stand like beacons for those making their way back to the shoreline and islands after a long week in the city. As one commuter once said, "When I see that barn, I know I'm home." The fabulous Leetes Island Road location, just off Interstate 95 and exit 56, provided a perfect quick on and off stop for residents and visitors on their way to the scenic shoreline. There, on the little farm stand that still sits today, plump strawberries in June, sweet corn and luscious tomatoes in July, peaches in August, pumpkins in autumn, and a wide variety of delicious vegetables and fresh-cut flowers throughout the summer filled its shelves under a bright red-orange awning that gently flapped in the breezes coming off nearby Long Island Sound. The family always thought that the secret to the deliciousness of the fruits and the vegetables was due to the composition of the rich, fertile soil kissed by glacial rock minerals. And they were right, as the land was bestowed the prestigious A.V.A. designation, designating it as an American Viticultural Area, with soils second only to the Connecticut River Valley and perfectly suited for a shoreline vineyard. The Lakso Farm, a.k.a. the old stone barn farm of Stony Creek, was purchased in 1925 by Alfred Lakso. He himself, a talented stonemason by trade, and his wife Lisa promised that as little as possible would change on the farm as long as the Lakso family owned it. Alfred and Lisa together built the old stone barn by hand. Now, almost a century later, the promise was never broken, and the farm remains delightfully frozen in time. Over the decades that followed, Lakso's would become a household name to the residents of the seaside community of Stony Creek and a favorite to the brides-to-be, who longed to be photographed among the very blooms that would compose their wedding bouquets. The farm is composed of 4 parcels, totaling just under 63 acres. The largest of the 4 parcels is situated directly across from the farmhouse and stone barn. It totals 34.3 acres and annually hosted a magnificent crop of cheerfully bright sunflowers. The farm itself, on the opposite side of Leetes Island Road, sits on 5.8 acres and embraces the farmhouse, stone barn, milk house, and a farm stand, plus other structures. Almost 20 acres of spectacularly textured land is situated across Red Hill Road, while the remaining 3 acres is located 2 parcels down Leetes Island Road, closer to Stony Creek. The farmhouse itself, according to the local town newspaper, was built around 1762, although oral tradition might date a portion earlier. The home was cared for almost 2 1/2 centuries by a town selectman, school teachers, and a pioneer of moving pictures. The farm always fared well at agricultural fairs. Imagine the stories this farm could tell us today of those who came centuries before, meeting, mingling, and perhaps even falling in love.